TLDR, Myeongdong Station will always have the best prices, but if you want the actual facts, the numbers, all of that jazz, stay tuned for the rest of the video. What's up, people? My name is Leslie, and today we're going to talk about different places that you can buy K-pop albums, merch, light sticks, etc. These are just going to be 9 stores. Obviously, it's not going to be every single store in Seoul, but these are 9 of my favorite stores that I visited while I was in Seoul. And we're going to talk about the album prices, the comparisons, what they got, what they don't have, just so you can decide what store you'd like to visit while you're there. And if anything, I can give you some ideas of places you should visit. Quick disclaimer, the way that this video is going to work is that I selected 7 albums from 7 different groups. It's going to be 4 boy groups and 3 girl groups. Yes, I'm biased towards guy groups. I'm trying, guys, I'm trying. And I'm going to compare the prices throughout all of the stores that I talk about, just so you guys can get an idea of like the price differences depending on the store. Let me run you through the albums we're going to go through. Okay, first one, BTS, Mod 7, NCT 127, 2 Baddies Digipack, 17, Sector 17, TXT, Blue Hour, Blackpink, Born Pink, G-Idol, I Love, and aespa Girls. So the ones that I didn't mention the version, it's going to be a standard version, and like I said, Digipack for 2 Baddies. I'm going to run through all of those prices. And I actually have a spreadsheet on Google Drive, which I will link below if you want to see more of the albums. And heads up, it's going to have way more boy groups, but if you want to add suggestions and like if you've been to Seoul, you're in Seoul and you know the prices and you want to share them, go ahead, I can add them on. I'll figure out how to do it, just because I want everybody to stay informed. Little note, if you do check this out, for the store, it's gonna say the name and then the bottom like line of text, you'll see it if you choose to check it out. It's gonna be underlined, and if you click on that, it'll take you to Naver Maps, so you've got the directions. Boom. Number 9 on this list is C.T Record CD DVD. This store is right at the exit from the metro. So once you leave the actual station, it'll be right there. I believe it's to the right. I don't know if you can like get it from a different perspective, but it's to the right and it's right in the corner right next to one of the exits. And honestly, this K-pop store is pretty cool. Like, it's the first one you see when you leave the station, and they have a good selection. I'd say they have like more newer stuff, like for example anything you'd find at like a typical K-pop store like in Los Angeles, if you're from the Bay Area, stuff that you can find inside on Hello, things like that. And they'll always be updated because anytime an album drops, they'll have it within like a day or two. Literally, you pull up and you got all the boxes there. Like, a lot of places in Seoul got that, but I just really like that. It's got a lot of like newer stuff, you know? So I think it's got a good variety, but if you're looking for older releases, I don't think you'll find them there. They've got vinyl sometimes, like they had Don't Fight the Feeling. They also had the $300 version of Proof, which was just insane to look at in person. They don't have any light sticks. Let's move on to the prices. Map of the Soul 7 is 17,900 won. 2 Baddies Digipack, 11,000 won. Sector 17, 20,000. Blue Hour is 15,200. Born Pink is 18,600. I Love is 17,200. Girls is 15,200. These are the prices in won, and these are the approximate prices in US dollars based on today's exchange rate. So there you go. Number 8, we got Myeongdong CD Shop. This store, I'm telling you, this is no particular order, but I love this store. This store is super, super cool. So this one is also located in the Myeongdong station, whereas the first one was right in the corner exiting the metro. This one is in the hallway, kind of. It's closer to a different store, which I'll talk about later. And I love this store. Let's talk about it. This store has a lot of variety, and they also have older stuff as well, which I think is so cool. You can always find something new in this store, honestly. If you've gone once, it doesn't really matter, because usually when you go to like a K-pop store, just like a store in general, you'll go one time and then you kind of just have an idea of what they have. But honestly, in this store, every single time I went, I found something new and it was awesome. And they also have pre-order benefits. And that's actually where I got these pre-order benefits, which I thought was really cool because I did not know that any stores actually carried them. They also had some Hive merch, which I didn't buy these there, I bought these at Hive, but they also had these. And let me show you some of the stuff that I actually bought there. I found SHINee's first album, which was freaking amazing. So their concert, which I think is really cool, and I need to watch it, but I don't have a CD player, so I need to get on that. And a whole bunch of Jonghyun's albums, which I really appreciated because I can't find those anywhere and they're super expensive on eBay. Here you go, we got Story OP, Bass, and She Is. I was also able to find this, and I saw another one while I was there. I saw this one and there was another one, but they also had a lot of cassettes of both Dynamite and Butter. So that's the thing you can find there. They also had these, and as they were releasing them, they were getting them in stores. So if you want to get any of these photo books, that's where you can get them. They didn't have them at the first store, but they definitely have them here. They don't usually give freebies, but like every once in a while they'll offer you a poster. Like when 2 baddies dropped, I want to go buy one for my friend, and they asked me if I wanted to get the poster, but I was like, I think I'm gonna crush it on the airplane, so I just said no thank you, which honestly I regret doing. But yeah, I thought that was really cool that they just give me this with this. So they don't always give freebies, but every once in a while they will offer you a poster. As for light sticks, let me read these out for you. NCT 49,000 won, ENHYPEN 85,000 won, aespa 49,000 won, LUNA 55,000 won, AT 60,000 won, and SHINee 48,000 won. In the outside part of the store, they have a little section where you can unbox, and I've seen a lot of people unbox their albums there, which honestly was so cool watching like their reactions and stuff. But on the table it says don't throw away your album, because there's a lot of people that just buy albums to get the photo cards, right? So what they do is that they just tell you just leave the album, and then they collect them later. I don't know what they do with them, but yeah, so it's encouraged to just like leave your album, not to throw it into the trash. I know that when I get an album, I'm like, I want to unbox this shit right now, right? And the other store that I just talked about, they don't let you unbox anything within the store. You have to like leave the store. So I like the fact that they have like a little designated area to unbox your albums. I think that's really nice. On to the album prices. Mod 7 is 17,900 won. 2 Baddies is 11,000. Sector 17, 20,000. Blue Hour, this was really weird. The blue version was 18,600, so I think it's reality, the blue one. AR and VR, the other ones like pink and orange, 15,200. I don't know why there's like a price discrepancy, but it is what it is. Born Pink is 18,600. I Love is 17,200. Girls is 15,200. On to number 7, Myeongdong Street Goods. So this store, I don't know if it's like a newer store or what. I'll explain right now. So this store is located on the above ground area of Myeongdong within like the main shopping street. If you want to go to this one and you click on the location marker in the spreadsheet, it's not going to give you the exact location. It's going to give you the store right next to there because it doesn't have an actual like point location on the map for some reason. But if you open Naver Maps and you do Street View and you look, I think it's to the left of the point that I chose, it'll be right there. And it's got albums and posters, and it's decorated with a whole bunch of photo cards like on the windows and the walls and stuff, and I think that's really cute. But I feel like, I don't know if it's a newer store or what, because you walk in and there isn't too much variety when it comes to the album choices, and there's like a lot of boxes, and there's just kind of like a table with an employee, you know? So honestly, I think the store's got a lot of potential because it's got like a good amount of space, but just give it a little time and I think they'll have more stuff. But when I went, there wasn't too much stuff. Prices were not that bad because above ground, the prices are gonna be much higher. But I think this one has the cheapest prices above ground. So let's talk about it. Mod 7 is 20,700. They didn't have 2 Baddies digipack, but based on other albums that are around like the same price point, I estimate that it's around 11,300. So it might be off by a couple hundred won, but that's kind of like how much I estimate it to be. Sector 17 is 20,500, Blue Hour is 15,600, and there's no difference on the version. Born Pink is 18,300, I Love is 17,700, and Girls is 12,500. On to number 6, Seoul Record. This store is located by Jongno 3, so if you take line 1, you exit in Jongno 3, you'll find it. It's so easy to access. I've never actually been like, I'm going to Seoul Record today. It was just, I'm going to Insadong, and then from Insadong, I just find my way to Dongdaemun, but in between, I'd find Seoul Record. So that's how I found it. This store has more LPs than anything. So if you're looking for vinyls, this store is where you gotta go. You walk in and to the right, there's a vinyl player. There's a freaking phone booth right in the middle of the store, which I think is so sick. I didn't expect this store to have a lot of K-pop albums, especially because I had just gone to a different record store that's really close to that area, and they just had like 3 albums. So I was just kind of like, I'm not really expecting much, you know, it's a record store. But they had a hallway that was just full of K-pop. So let's break that down. Once again, this goes Mod 7, 19,500, 2 Baddies, 12,000, Sector 17, 21,500. They did not have Blue Hour, but I estimate that it's around 16,500. They also did not have Born Pink, the standard version. They did have the member version. And I think Born Pink, like standard, will be around 20,000 to 23,000 won. That's like my estimate. I Love is 18,500 and Girls is 16,500. So that's actually where I got this album, and I was getting worried because I did not find this album in the Myeongdong Station stores. So I was just kind of like, crap, I cannot find it. This is crazy. So when I saw this, I got it, and I went up to the cash register and I was like, okay, just this please. And she asked me, she's like, do you want a poster? And I was like, sure. I was like, bet, I'll get a poster. And the lady goes and she tells another lady to go get a poster, and they start pulling out some posters, and then they pulled out one, then they pulled out another, and I was like, oh, they're gonna like ask me like, which one do you want? They actually they gave me both, which is freaking awesome. I froze. I was like, okay, alrighty. And as they were like rolling up the poster and I was just in shock, she just pulls out a stack of like pictures, I think, and she just drops them on the table and she's like, choose one. And I was like, what? And my cousin's bias, last I've known, was V or is V, so obviously I chose Jimin. Can't believe that happened. I'm still shocked to this day. Also, the fact that these made it alive is crazy. It makes me regret the NCT situation even more. On to number 5. We're going back to Myeongdong. We got BURUTTRAK, or BURUTTRAK, I think, in English. BURUTTRAK. It's not underground, once again, it's above ground. You can tell it's a K-pop store because it's got so much merch on the outside, which I think is freaking awesome. It's got like calendars, stickers, pens with their faces on it, photo cards, and I love it. So when I saw it, I was like, let's go. And when I went in, I really liked it. It's a little more like crammed, especially if there's like a few more people in there, but like, I love that store. This store has albums, OSTs, light sticks, and a whole bunch of unofficial merch. Now let's make our price comparison. Mot 7, 20,000, 2 Baddies, 14,000, Sector 17, 23,000, Blue Hour, 17,000, Born Pink, 22,000, I Love, 21,000, Girls, 18,000. As for light sticks, all of them were 58,000. I asked the lady, I'm like, how much is this one? And then, how much is this one? And she was just like, all of them, 58,000. And on that particular day, I saw Luna, aespa, Red Velvet, Shiny, and TXT light sticks. On to number 4. This one's also in Myeongdong. It's located on the 3rd floor of a Nature Republic, which is so weird because you walk in and it's like skincare, all of that, and then you just have cardboard cutouts of the NCT 127 members, and you go up the stairs, and in the 2nd floor it's just the cutouts. So it's like a completely abandoned room, and it just has a whole bunch of the members just cut out there, just standing like this, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then you circle back, you go to the 3rd floor, and then they have posters, they got like a TV, they've got signed albums on a wall, which I think is sick as hell, because you walk in and there is like a whole bunch of the albums right here, the cash register, and to the right there's all like the OSTs, and then you move back a little more, they got solo artists. The back, they have a CD player, they've got like mirrors and stuff. On the wall to the left it's got boy groups, and then on the one in the middle it's got girl groups, so it's very organized in that way. The first time I was in Seoul, they had this one, Mood Swings into Order, but the second time that I went, it was completely sold out. I literally walked in and I'm like, do you guys have this album? And they're like, no, gone, sold out. And I was like, bro, what? Because I had just seen it and I was just completely shocked. I was like, for real? But yeah, they did not have it, but this is the only store that they carried this one in. By the end of my stay there, they just had 𝐼KOOL, but by the time I left, they no longer had that either. But this is the only store that carried DPR albums. Let's go through the prices. Mot 7, 22,500, 2 Baddies, 14,500, Sector 17, 26,000, Blue Hour, 20,000, Born Pink, 24,500, I Love, 22,500, Girls, 20,000. This store is in my top 3 of the most variety that you can find in a K-pop store, but the thing is that the prices are definitely a bit on the higher side. Depending on the album that you buy, they'll give you freebies. I think they gave one of my friends like a photo card. But there's certain companies that don't allow you to do that, so it's not for every album. They also offered like a poster for another album that we bought. I don't remember exactly which one it is, but they definitely do give out freebies depending on what album you buy. And at number 3, we have Jongno Books. This is actually a bookstore in the Jongno Station, and I did not expect to find K-pop albums here because it's basically like a Barnes & Noble on steroids. When I first went there was a section by the escalator and the whole wall was covered in K-pop albums. They had so much like random stuff. Like they had every single 101 album. They don't have as big of a variety in like the albums that I was looking for, but they definitely had some interesting picks. But I visited again like 2 days later and everything was gone. I was like, what the frick? It's like they knew I was coming. because I got there and there was nothing. That whole shelf was empty. So I kind of just like looked through the store a little further. Like the far corners of the store, there's an art box within the bookstore, and between the art box and like the food court area or whatever, there's a little hallway where they used to have movies. Now that hallway is kind of empty. It was just like a strip. It was like one of these. And I was like, what the? There used to be like a whole section and now there's just one mueble. What? On to the prices. Lot 7, 24,000. Two baddies, 15,000. Sector 17, 26,500. Blue Hour, 20,500. Born Pink, 25,500. I Love, 23,500. Girls, 20,500. There you go. And obviously no light sticks, no merch, just those albums. Coming in at number 2, we got the Lotte Plaza in Myeongdong. It's in the underground floor. There's like a place where you can like go downstairs. I don't know if it's connected to anything. It might be. And I'm just blanking. It might be connected to an underground shopping center, but I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that it's near the exit, but it's underground. And honestly, the setup of this store is so sick because they've got like these walls with like images of the K-pop idols and videos. Like they were playing Make-A-Wish when I was there, and I was like, what? They have so much merch, it's insane. There's walls of merch. Like you don't have just walls of like albums, you have walls of merch, and then right in front there's a wall of albums. They also have like photo booth areas. There's a little area in the middle where they just have like displays, and I think they're signed albums, and in the middle they're just like showing pictures of the idols. So I really like the store. The store is really cool. Would I buy albums here? I don't know. Let's look at the prices. Lot 7, 24,000. Two baddies, 15,000. Sector 17, 26,500. Blue Hour, 20,000. Born Pink, 25,500. I Love, 23,500. And Girls, 20,500. These prices are definitely on the higher end of the spectrum. They're definitely cheaper than anything you can get in the US, but if you're in Korea, it's definitely a bit different. Unfortunately, none of the light sticks actually had like price stickers on them, so I was kind of like, what is happening? But yeah, there's that. They might be more expensive though than the underground ones or any of the other stores that I talked about, just based on the album prices themselves. So I think it's definitely cool to go look at it. It's an experience, but I don't know if I'd personally buy an album here. And at number 1, we have YP Books within COEX, because I know that there is also a YP Books in Sadang Station, maybe? Yeah, there's the YP Books in Sadang Station. I didn't actually go in there because I forgot. So this is a bookstore, and within this bookstore they have K-pop albums, at least the branch in COEX, because the one we're talking about is in COEX Mall, which my mind was blown. I wasn't expecting it because I just wandered in looking for a bookstore, and I walked in and it's right next to one of the doors because there's multiple entrances. This store is pretty big, and you enter to the left, boom, you got like, I believe about 3 shelves front and back of albums, and then there's like a little part of like a connection to the rest of the store that also has a whole bunch of albums, mostly like NCT on that area. But honestly surprised me with the amount of albums that were there, considering that the area is so small. On to the prices. Lot 7, 24,000. Two baddies, 15,000. Sector 17, 26,500. Blue Hour, 20,500. Born Pink, 25,500. I Love, 23,500. Girls, 20,500. So this one is also a little more on the expensive side, but honestly it's always just about perspective. It's got a good mix of albums. And we have a bonus one. And last one, we got People's CD and DVD in Myeongdong Station between exits 2 and 3. It's literally like 2's on one side, 3's on the other side, and it's literally right in between. This store does not have albums, but it's got the cutest merch. Let me show you guys. They've got a whole bunch of these, and let me show you what they are. Like stickers, post-it notes. They also had a whole bunch of different pins, like right here, you got my TXT one, my EXO one, little strap or whatever. Their debut date. They got calendars, they got stickers, they got T-Money cards. Bro, you can get a T-Money card of almost any K-pop idol, and you can find most of them there. They are so cool. They had like these transparent ones of like BTS. They had like this really shiny one of Yoongi, and I got one from one of my friends. They've got so much like random stuff, and they also sell like official merch. On the floor there's a few boxes, and you can definitely dig through those and find different photo cards, like for example Permission to Dance or Soju, like the more recent performances and stuff. They've also got concerts, they got magazines, they also have these photo books. They've got a whole bunch of things related to K-pop, just no albums. But other than that, I love this store. It's crazy. Let me give you some of the light stick prices. NCT 49,000, P1 Harmony 48,000, aespa 49,000, Luna 55,000, and Shiny 48,000. So yeah, those are 9 stores plus the bonus at the end that you can visit if you're looking for K-pop albums, merch, light sticks, etc. So if you want to check out the spreadsheet for information, locations, whatever, it should be linked down below. If you want me to add an album, let me know. I'll probably make like a Google Forms or something. I don't know, let me know just so I can add them on there so we can keep everybody informed. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.